Welcome to MeToMotherhood Laugh or Cry series, where we dive headfirst into the beautiful, messy chaos of mum life.
We're your hosts, Jess and Niche, two mums also in the thick of it, here to talk about the real, unfiltered stories that no one else is talking about.
The kind of moments that have you laughing 1 minute, crying the next, or doing both at the same time.
And we share these stories as a reminder we are all in this together.
These are real stories from real mums.
So let's get into it. This is Me to Motherhood, the Laugh or Cry series. Okay, Niche, over to you with your very own laugh or cry story.
Thanks, Jess. My laugh or cry moment was with my first baby, my first child, and it's something that has stuck with me to this day. So I believe we all have at least one story that you'll never forget, and this one was a cracker. So to provide some context, I was lucky enough to have my partner home for the first 4 or 5 weeks after giving birth. So I felt extremely lucky, and we worked really well as a team. We tag teamed, we'd do everything together, and I just so appreciated that extra support being a new time mum. I really struggled in those, first, probably months around breastfeeding and sleep deprivation, and everything was sore and, loss of control of my life. And I just felt that having my partner home for those first few weeks was just magical. But alas, he had to go back to work, and I was dreading it. I was honestly dreading it, thinking about it most days leading up to him returning to work. The day came and he got ready, he left, we said goodbye. I watched his car drive down the road. And in that moment, I was like, okay, I really need to start thinking a little bit more positive about this. I need to reframe it that I can do this, that I am capable. Went over to my newborn baby. I kind of leant in as she was lying down in her little bassinet, and I said something along the lines of, it's just you and me today, kiddo. Like, we're going to have lots of fun. And I was like, talking to her, we're looking into each other's eyes. And then in that moment, with an almighty projectile vomit straight into my face. And I even had my mouth open, which really to this day disturbs me. And I think I was just completely shocked because it was the last thing I was expecting, especially because I was dreading this first day of being a solo parent for 8 hours. And then in that moment, as I was kind of covered in breast milk and she was just kind of looking at me a bit stunned as well, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And so I called my partner straight away. He was probably 5 minutes down the road. It was between tears and laughter, and I was telling him and he, what had happened, and we had a good laugh, and he was reassuring. When I reflect back on that particular story, I really wish I could go back to myself at that time and kind of wrap her in some self-compassion and some love and, to provide that reassurance that you will be okay, you'll get through this. And I did, and I was capable. And, those first few weeks were really hard. But once we got into a routine and we got, out and about and we joined a mother's group and, connected with other mums, it did become easier. But I think to provide some context as well, I always had this belief that maternal instincts meant that you're going to be a great mum. And I was the kind of kid at kindergarten that was always playing with the dollies and was always in the home corner while everyone else was out playing on the playground. I was the teenager that would love to babysit the neighbours' kids, and I'd actually look forward to it. I'd do it for free because I loved little babies. I loved, the kids and being with them. And so in my mind, I thought, I'm having a baby, I'm naturally maternal, I'll be great at this, I'll be fantastic. And then it dawned on me, it doesn't work like that. It was so different to what I had envisioned, this kind of dream motherhood of what I thought I'd naturally be great at. But in the first 12 months, I was like, I'm so bad at this. Like, this is really hard. This is really challenging. So I think there's a few things that have come from that for me, in that self-compassion has probably been the biggest theme for me in those early, probably 12 months, around it's okay, you are capable, you're doing the best you can. And no one really tells you that, how hard it's going to be. Or, but maybe they do try and tell you, but you just don't hear it and you don't listen,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't know until you're in the thick of it.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember, like, we have had zero formal training for this job. And yet this is one of the most, or is the most important jobs we'll ever do. And we go into it really unknowingly what it's going to be like and how to show up. But having, like you said, that compassion for yourself, there is so much self-doubt because we're doing everything for the first time and there is no training, that it becomes, you really are in the unknown. So it's really easy to think you're doing a terrible job at it. And there is very few people that come in and cheer you on going, well done, you were doing fantastic today. And I have to say, Nish, you were that for me. So thank you. But you really hold on to the words that you do hear from other people, because it's so few and far between that I think, one, we need to be it for ourselves. And we need to learn those skills to be our own best friend and say, this has been a really rough day. Let's give myself some grace here. You're actually doing pretty well. And I also think part of this, the Laugh or Cry series, the reason why we're sharing is because we also are here to cheer each other on, share the stories and say, wow, you are doing a great job. Even through the thick of that really hard day and that projectile vomit into your mouth, Niche, you're still doing really well,
Yeah.
So I think we need to learn to be the cheerleader for ourselves, and also let's lift each other up and be it for each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well said. To all the amazing mamas in our community, if you've got a laugh or cry moment of your own, we'd love to hear it. Send us a DM or drop it in the comments and you might hear your story in a future episode.
Thank you for listening to the Laugh or Cry series. We are all in this together.